Element, this is Doc. Our negotiators just lost contact with suspects. They are angry and volatile. You are go for entry.
All Gods Burn, the second mission to the Boiling Point DLC in Ready or Not. This mission takes place in the Unity Trust Bank in Los Sueños shortly after the Blackwood Pier attack. Black Sentinel, a minor antagonist faction that first appears in the Dark Waters DLC mission Three-Letter Triad, are suspected of robbing the bank during the ensuing riots, and in response, D Platoon is sent in to bring order to chaos. Black Sentinel is a group of elite private military contractors and mercenaries comprised of ex-military personnel, retired Tier 1 Special Forces, Special Operations Force operators, and former USIA agents. So yeah, these guys are not your average suspects. They're coordinated, aggressive, and they will absolutely punish you if you get sloppy, which makes this mission feel a lot more intense compared to your typical runs. I've decided to take the street entrance on this mission because I can send my team in through the front door while I take the side entrance, which covers more angles and gives me a bit more control over how this first engagement plays out. Splitting like this can be risky, but it lets me collapse on the suspects from multiple directions and shut things down before they even have time to react. This mission features civilians and suspects disguised as rioters, adding a high level of anxiety when trying to S-rank this mission, so being one step ahead is always a priority. Just like in the first mission, No Good Deed, there are a few options for a loadout I can use. The VPL-25, the TPL, the TRPL, the Beanbag Shotgun, the M320 Flash or Stinger Launcher variant, or the M23A1 Flashbang Launcher. With the first room being as chaotic as it is, the loadout I've decided to use is the M23A1 Flashbang Launcher for a few very good reasons. First, it's truly non-lethal, which is huge if you're going for S-rank. Second, it's instantly effective. There's no waiting around for it to kick in like a pepperball gun. Third, it affects multiple contacts at once, which is perfect for crowd control in big open rooms and tight spaces. And fourth, it doesn't harm civilians, suspects, my team, or myself, which gives me a lot more freedom to use it as aggressively as I want without worrying about penalties. Now the downside to the M23A1 is I can only carry 6 rounds per reload, and reloading actually discards whatever ammo is left in the launcher. To help balance that out, I've equipped my entire team with the same loadout. That gives me 5 times the ammo pool across the squad, and it keeps everything consistent in terms of how we're engaging suspects. Another big advantage here is that my teams physically can't kill anyone with the M23A1, which removes a lot of the risk of AI making a bad call and ruining the run. For the objectives, I went for Bring Order to Chaos first, which allows me to roam the entire map without worrying about any suspects still lurking around. Getting that done first just makes everything else way more manageable and lets me speed up without worrying about suspects. Secondly, I went for Rescue all of the civilians. This part can be a little tedious, especially with how spread out the civilians can be with the random spawns, but it's just one of those things where you have to make sure you're not missing anyone tucked away in a corner or behind a door. After those 2 objectives, the mission will soft complete, where I can end the mission if I want, but for S rank, that's not enough. I need everything. All soft objectives and evidence like guns and knives that the suspects drop. Admittedly, this is where the mission can slow down a lot. It's not just about clearing threats anymore, it's about being thorough. I often have to double back and check rooms again and make sure I didn't overlook anything in the chaos that happened earlier in the mission. Given that this video isn't a full guide, I won't be going into the specifics of every soft objective, but as you can see, I'm showcasing the ones that I did find and hit during this run, which gave me the S rank. There's quite a bit to find: bombs, keycards, laptops, and some of these actually tie into the larger story behind the DLC. Some of these objectives unlock the vault, which has a pretty interesting surprise inside. It definitely adds a bit more context to what's going on here and gives a better idea of how everything connects. In order to get into the vault, you only need to do a few things. You must find the admin password on a whiteboard, enter it into a computer, and locate the vault keycard all within the bank. The keycard can be found on a security guard's dead body, so just check them all and you'll eventually find it. I'd also like to add a full disclosure. I'm going to show what's inside the vault, so if you don't want any spoilers, I suggest you fast forward to this timestamp in the video description. Now the dialogue in the vault is a little hard to hear, so I am going to put up some subtitles so that way you can read along, because the audio that they've programmed into this game is a little hard to hear.
Get down! I want to see hands!
Curiosity always gets the better of you, David.
What was on that drive? It was automated. I didn't do anything.
But it was your initiative, once again fulfilling everything we hoped for you.
I don't work for you.
You follow blindly. You exist to serve in the same machine we inhabit.
Can't even feel my
You
hands.
just haven't accepted its architecture.
You're manipulating this entire city. How far does this go?
You stand
Keep walking, clown.
of something much larger. And it's already in motion. Destruction and creation are the same act, viewed from opposite ends. You'll see for yourself soon enough.
Well, that wraps up this video. I want to thank you for sticking around to the very end. If you've made it this far, please consider dropping a like, comment what mission you'd like to see next, and maybe consider subscribing. I do create content on many other social platforms as well, so please check out the video description for those links. My name is Tamoya, and I'll see you in the next one.